What makes Komodo truly worth it? The diverse marine life, the insane currents, the prehistoric legends. 8 years later, we were terrified that the hype has destroyed this paradise. We were wrong. Our first dive back in Komodo, one of its most exhilarating drift dives. A negative entry and we're instantly whipped along the wall at high speed. Then, suddenly, a chain of manta rays above our heads.
Wow, what an amazing first dive back in Komodo. Raging current, incredible. So many mantas.
They were here, they were there, they were everywhere. It was amazing!
The mantas were an amazing welcome, but the current was too fast to assess the health of the reef. After seeing paradise die in Raja Ampat last year, we weren't ready to call this a success just yet. Welcome to Labuan Bajo, your portal to the Komodo National Park.
So last time we were here, this was entirely a dirt road. This wasn't here last time.
Whilst other parts are surprisingly familiar.
This is where I did all of my dive master training back in 2018.
One of the biggest changes is how you access the park from town.
Alright guys, let's go diving.
This new entry system was put in place in 2025.
It's really busy in here and looks like we've hit the rush.
As of March 2026, daily visitors have been further limited to 1,000 per day. So, if you plan on coming here, secure your spot early.
I can only imagine what this is like in high season.
And if you plan on doing day trips, there's only one way to get there before the crowds.
Welcome on board, Charlie. This is going to get us to the dive site in 45 minutes. That is way quicker than the day boats. Here we go. So we're just about to reach our first dive site. Let's kit up and go diving.
Welcome to Tatawa, Besar, a dive that truly shocked us. 8 years ago, this dive site looked completely different, and we're not exaggerating. We dived here many times on day trips in 2018, and what we're witnessing here today is blowing our minds. If you've seen videos of Komodo online, you may recognise this place. It's the world-famous Batu Bolong. But sometimes a dive site's beauty can be its downfall. It's a small site that can easily become overwhelmed by crowds. So, has 8 years worth of hype ruined the world's most beautiful dive site? We jumped in expecting the same disappointment we experienced at Cape Cree in Raja Ampat just a few months ago. We were dead wrong. Due to fast currents and cooler water temperatures, the coral and diversity here is thriving. And dare we say it, even better than we remember. These two dives might be a beacon of hope for the world's oceans.
So the second dive we did at Tatawa, Besar, which means Big Smile Island. I think the coral was actually better. It looks like there's a lot more coral coverage, especially with the soft corals on the slope. It really was looking super healthy and just beautiful and vibrant.
What we were worried about yesterday was the fact that the boats are not going into the national park, except speedboats. So it turned out to be a huge benefit because there was hardly anyone on the dive sites.
Burger time.
Well, watch that, kid.
Good burgers, if I remember correctly.
We'll tell you more about our top food picks in Labuan Bajo later on. But first, no trip to Komodo would be complete without a visit to its prehistoric icons.
We are going for 2 dives and dragons, but the first dive is at Sebayur. So it's time to kit up and let's go diving.
This dive site right here sits just outside the boundary zone of the national park. It's known as more of a training site, but that doesn't make it any less spectacular. However, there was one crucial thing we noticed on this dive, which we'll tell you more about later on. It could be a warning sign that even Komodo is not immune to the changes occurring in the world's oceans.
If you find it, can you post it to me?
Aside from its currents and insane biodiversity, Komodo's reefs are especially renowned for one gigantic resident, the manta ray. These majestic creatures can often be found at areas known as cleaning stations. We're going to dedicate a full video to manta rays soon, so if you want to learn how to identify, track and protect these endangered animals, subscribe so you don't miss out.
Don't forget to like, comment and share our channel, Aaron and Cassie.
Legend! The dives were beautiful, and especially our second dive, we were treated to some very chilled out mantas who came pretty close as they were enjoying the cleaning station with all the little fish coming up and giving them a little spa. Now we're going to see the Komodos, which in Bahasa means dragon. So if you say Komodo dragon, you're really just saying dragon, dragon. Oh, snakes. Ooh. Yeah, we're vlogging. You want to say hi? What's your name?
It's Akbar.
Akbar, are you one of the park rangers?
Yes.
And what?
Like a local ranger.
Oh, and what is your best advice for people looking for Komodos?
The best time to see Komodo dragon in the morning.
In the mornings. Well,
In the morning, Komodo dragon they are more active.
they're hunting?
Yes. In the like midday like this, Komodo dragon they will stay in the shade because they relax because they are cool-blooded. They don't like to stay in the sun.
Okay. So we need to look in the shade. Thank you, Akbar.
You guys.
Okay. Have a good day. We have seen Komodo. It's at this time of the day, they're in the shade, so it's down there. Komodo dragon. There's one on the path. We can't get over the bridge because it's just laying in the middle of the bridge. Oh, guys, this is a hot trek. What's it called? I've forgotten my words. Trek. We're still going up. Let's go. I think we're going to have some beautiful views.
At the front of the entrance, it's got a sign saying you need to wear proper footwear and not flip-flops. The guy said it would be fine. So we're just trekking up this hill.
Rubble.
Flip-flops, hoping not to get attacked by dragons. Ambush predators. Could be anywhere.
Just look at this. Isn't it beautiful? So stunning. Cannot get bored. This is what's going to protect you from the Komodo dragons if you come here. Just a good old wooden stick.
There is one other prehistoric resident of Komodo that every diver loves, and there's one site where you won't be able to count them on one hand. We'll introduce you to them in a bit.
So even though they've made huge improvements, especially on the main strip, where before it was just a dirt road, really, it was just dust. And it's really much better now, but there are still plenty of hazards about as you're walking around, so make sure you're really looking where you're going, because there's just holes in the road, and like this thing right here, one of my favourites. Definitely an improvement.
100%. Not walking through concrete dust and dirt is really up there on my list of things that improve an area. There are heaps of food options in Labuan Bajo, including a really shiny new mall and eatery area. But first, we're going to show you our tried and tested favourites here in Labuan Bajo.
I can't let you go, baby. I just want to tell you that. No, 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 no. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care. 'Cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop.
This might be Komodo's most visited site. It's one of the few sites where you won't experience Komodo's famous wild currents. Maybe that's one of the bigger reasons these guys love to hang out here. Welcome to Siaba, Besar, aka Turtle City. You can expect huge numbers of divers here during high season, which is why we anticipated seeing a lot of coral damage. Just a small amount of damage to these essential reef-building corals can take years to regenerate. But Komodo proved us wrong once again. Jumping straight from Komodo's easiest dive site to one of its most advanced. Back in 2018, we had one of our scariest ever dives here. The deep overhangs can cause some potentially dangerous down currents, so we were cautious on our descent. Today, however, was the perfect conditions for us to show you the vast caverns and near perfect coral coverage on one of Komodo's most notorious dive sites.
We have just had lunch on the boat after doing 2 dives out of 3 today. First dive was at Siaba, Besar. Now in green season, it is super quiet on that dive site, so we were really lucky to see this dive site looking just as healthy as we remember it in 2018 and with hardly any divers, because this dive site is amazing for DSDs and beginner divers. So in high season, it is packed. So dive number 2 was a dive site called Police Corner. We were super lucky to be able to dive that today because of its topography with these beautiful massive overhangs, it can only be dived at half moon because the currents, when they're strong there, it's seriously a dangerous dive site. Today, it was stunning and it allowed us to see the amazing coral coverage all over the top of these overhangs. It is mind-blowing. Like some of the best coral coverage and biodiversity of coral that we have seen anywhere in the world. So if you've seen our Raja Ampat series, you will see that we were absolutely shocked by the changes since we were there 7 years ago, largely caused by the increased tourism and rising sea temperatures. So far we have not been disappointed. The dive sites are looking as healthy as they were back in 2017. But next, we're diving to Tower Kecil. Let's go diving.
One thing that will never change in Komodo is the adrenaline pumping currents. And this dive was a 10 out of 10. And as we reached the calm side of this tiny island, a huge, unexpected bonus surprised us. You might have guessed by now that Komodo has lived up to the hype, but there's a few more things we need to discuss before you go ahead and book those flights. So stay tuned until the end because we're going to give you a full breakdown that you won't want to miss.
Thank you so much. And then give thank you big thanks as well with the crew and the captain. Without them, we cannot do anything on the boats because they gonna be help everything on the boat.
Obviously.
So
The dive site.
for the dive site, only yourself. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, again. This guy. I am so happy that Komodo is looking as hot and beautiful and full and vibrant and diverse and magnificent as it was 8 years ago. And diving on that speedboat is a hell of a lot of fun.
So if you are a person who doesn't want to do a liveaboard, or if you've got family that don't dive, or you just prefer day trips, Blue Marlin is a really good option. They have probably the fastest dive boat around and it will get you out there on the sites before everyone else and back in time for sunset.
Back by 2:30 we were. So after 4 really full-on days of diving Komodo National Park in the central region, we're taking a dry day today. We took a whole 1-minute walk up the road to this cute little coffee shop called Taka, which has an amazing view over Labuan Bajo harbour. And we've enjoyed a lovely slow breakfast here, looking out over the beautiful harbour and just taking some time to reflect on what our diving experience has been like this time compared to when we were here 8 years ago. If you watched our Raja Ampat series, you'll remember how shocked we were to see the impacts of the over-tourism and rising sea temperatures on the coral in that region. So coming back to Labuan Bajo, we were pretty nervous to see how its rising tourism, how that would have actually impacted the reef health here. Because it's green season here, we have only been diving the central sites as the north is way too choppy. Plus, most of the boats have not been able to go into the park, only the speedboats. So it's been pretty quiet. But we are shocked and thrilled to say that on diving these sites, we think that they are just as healthy, if not healthier, than when we were here back in 2018. Especially sites like Tatawa Besar, the world famous Batu Bolong, and Police Corner seem to have more coral coverage than we remember from when we were here last. That being said, it's no wonder, because you are jumping into those waters with fast flowing currents, bringing water temperatures of 25 to 26 degrees. Pretty nippy for us, but for the coral health, it's fantastic.
So far, we've only seen bleaching and dead coral really at one dive site, which was a couple of days ago at Sebayur. It's just outside the national park. But yeah, we did see quite a bit of bleaching, and comparing this to other dive sites we've visited within the national park, we've actually seen places with very close to 100% coral coverage.
And we've witnessed marine diversity here that we haven't witnessed anywhere else in the world, apart from maybe Raja Ampat back in 2019. Yeah, so it's just an observation. We know that there are a lot more resorts around this area, and we're just curious as to whether that's having an impact or not. If you are a marine biologist or you know anything about this, please drop us some info in the comments. We'd love to know what you think.
So, the big question. After years of social media hype, is visiting Komodo right now still worth it? For us, it's a resounding yes. Just remember to visit and dive responsibly. And know what you're getting yourself into with those currents.
Our time here diving Komodo National Park is not over yet. In fact, we've got a really exciting next few days ahead that we want to share with you. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe and turn on notifications, and send this video to your dive buddy, and we'll see you underwater.